Welcome into the first edition of Retire Wise podcast with Shawn Maloney and myself as we talk investing, finance, retirement. And Shawn, since we're kicking things off, my friend, we'll just do it real simple, a little getting to know you, introduce you and myself, I suppose, to the listening and viewing audience on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, all that good stuff. So how are you, my friend?
Doing great, Mark, man. I appreciate it. I'm excited about getting this going and doing it, man. We're having some fun over here. Good to share it out with everybody else.
Might as well. Exactly. Right. So, of course, if you guys got questions, need help, if you're already working with Shawn, that's fantastic. But if you're not, and you like checking out the podcast, or as we grow more content, consider subscribing to us, again, on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. You can find all the links in the show descriptions below. We'll have that for you there. And of course, you can go to Shawn's website at any time at retirewisepro.com. That's retirewisepro.com. So let's get started, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. So nice and simple, getting to know you. Tell us a little bit about the business first. You've been doing this, 20 plus years?
Yeah, I've been in the business for quite a while. I've worked for a couple of different firms and whatnot. My whole goal all along was, hey, I want to get out and be a independent financial firm so we can do what's right for the customers, right?
Okay.
You're not tied to any one particular thing. And it just gives us the leeway to offer the services that we want to do. It's funny. It's been a passion of mine, and now obviously to the teams for quite some time. And I just love the flexibility that it gives us being, independent, and not being tied down to any one particular angle.
Shawn, what does that mean for the folks that maybe don't understand the difference in independent? What is that?
Yeah. So, if you work for, like, for instance, in our industry, if you work for a firm, so let's just say one of the bigger houses, right? And they're going to try to influence you to put funds in certain types of accounts, right? Or their accounts, right? Meaning their products, their investment strategies, those kind of things, right?
Gotcha.
Whereas an independent, we're not tied to any one individual company per se, right? We can place business and strategies and products and investment types wherever we think's best for that customer.
You got the smorgasbord, so everything is available. Okay.
Right. More a la carte. Gives you more flexibility versus a limited menu.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. I kind of think about it like, when Walmart wants to sell the winter sweaters at the beginning of summer, they discount, all of them kind of thing. And you're kind of stuck with this option versus, having everything that you want to do. So it's like, you 100%. Want to work with somebody who's got the whole smorgasbord. I like that. Right. So that's open. What you guys do, in the industry, like you talked about, we're going to try to have some fun with the podcast and be educational and informational and all that kind of stuff, and have a little, hopefully some humor and some good things in there as well. But what you do for a living is truly serious business, right? I mean, obviously you're talking about people's forever money, their retirement monies, things of that nature. What does it mean to you personally just to do that?
Yeah, I mean, we take it super personal. I mean, there's a passion here because of, you look at some of the stats in the United States and the number of retired folks that are seniors that aren't able to live, let's just say, comfortably or in their lifestyle that they desire, or they're closer to poverty levels than they should be. I mean, we're one of the wealthiest countries in the United States. And a lot of it, I feel that people are like that, is just because no one's ever showed them how to do it. Right. Yeah. And they follow whoever. Now, granted, this is going to sound funny because we're on YouTube and we're doing a podcast, but they may just listen to whoever that they run across, right? Not looking into their qualifications.
It's a different world now, right? But to your point though, and how you were kind of starting that, I mean, we're probably about close on the same age. I went to high school in the 80s. I'm the target. I'm a target demographic now, being in my mid 50s. And financial education is terrible in this country. It's never been good.
Man, you look, well, when we went to school, they actually taught finance 101 stuff, right?
A little bit, but I feel like I got the 1 hour thing on how to write a check and that was it,
Right. Yeah. Now there's nothing. I know, basically where we're at, they've cut it out of all the schools.
Crazy.
So not only do you not know the basics, of course, they're not teaching anything beyond that. Me personally, being in the industry, I think, man, when you're in high school, you're in college, they ought to be teaching you, some of the life side of things, just not throwing you out there.
Yeah, for sure. And, you made a good point too. In today's world, right, you can now there's finfluencers, if you can believe that's the term, right? So financial influencers, there's all these different things that we've and a lot of times these people do not have credentials. They do not have to, they can kind of say whatever because they're not being regulated. You are in the trenches, and you've got to, you're regulated, rules you got to follow, right? So,
we're not just trying to get likes and follows, although those are great,
right?
But
Exactly. Right. And to that point, right, that's why. So anytime you hear anything on our show or any others, folks, always check with a qualified professional to see how it's going to affect you, before you take some action on that stuff. So anyway, moving right along with the podcast here. What's the most rewarding thing that you enjoy about what you do?
It's the biggest thing for me is seeing relief on people's face when they realize, hey, there's some possibilities here.
Okay.
Right. I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's plan's different. Everybody's circumstances are different. And we don't know what it's going to look like until you walk in the door and we talk to you. Right. But finances is one of those things people get all tight about, right?
Absolutely.
They're worried. They don't want to share it. And I like when they can just sit back in their chair, lean back a little bit. They get a little comfortable because they feel like there's now a roadmap. Right. And it's not just that de-stressing. Let's de-stress. It's supposed to be a fun time. Let's de-stress it.
Yeah, there you go. So when the light bulb goes off, that's pretty cool, right?
100%.
Okay, very cool, very cool. All right, so that's a little bit about just the business setup. Well, I guess real fast. So, how long have you had your company?
Yeah, so we started RetireWise back in 2020 as an independent firm. Yep.
And you've been doing this 20 plus years though in the industry.
Yeah, I've been in the financial services industry forever and a day.
Okay.
It's funny where my passion started. It goes way back to the 8th grade. Long story.
Really? Okay. Well, we'll have to get into that one day. Yeah. We'll have to do. I was going to ask you, was there maybe you can summarize it? I was going to say, let's turn personal a minute. Was there something that kind of pushed you towards finance? Was it like a grandfather or a family member or something, or did you just like math and those kinds of things?
So I'm the only person in my family that does anything remotely close to this.
Okay.
I took a investments quote game class back in middle school in the 8th grade. This is before the internet, right? And you had to open up the newspapers and look at everything.
Yeah.
And I won that thing like over and over again, and I got hooked. And, story goes, from that point forward, that's where my education and my focus was.
Okay.
And the passion just kind of built from there. You went through all the trenches, see what people went through in 2008 and all those kind of things, right?
Yeah.
For some odd reason, I don't know, maybe I was just an odd kid.
That's okay. Nothing wrong with that, right? So, it's great. Like, you never know what's going to grab people, right? So, when you find what you like, as the saying goes, right? You do what you love. You never work a day in your life. So,
100%.
All right. If you weren't a financial professional, Shawn, I see a little golf guy behind you, a little football guy. What would you do if you weren't? What would you think that you would be doing if you weren't a financial advisor?
So it's funny. I think in different phases of my life, it would have been something different.
Okay,
I'm definitely not an athlete, but if I go back and choose, I was heavily into music back in the day. And at one point I thought I was going to go down the road of, being like a music producer, those kind of things. I played and all that, but I really thought I was seriously considering going that route since it was such a passion that I'm like, okay, but I really want to make some money too.
That's true. You how the saying goes, it's like, being a musician is the only thing where you've got $5,000 worth of gear stuck in a $500 car to drive 50 miles to make $50.
Right.
So gigging musicians, don't yell at me. I've been one for years. I know what it's like. I've got like 20 guitars behind me, although some of them aren't in view right this minute. But so I'm with you on that one. So, all right. So continue it along here on our getting to know you inaugural kickoff on the show here. Not ideal. This is a relationship business, right? It definitely is. What are you hoping that maybe clients or potential clients take away from this?
Yeah, you hit it right on the head, right? It's not a transactional thing. You're not just, hey, I'm going to buy a stock. I'm going to get into fun. I'm going to get some advice. This is a relational thing, and not to be corny about it, but we really do like to say, look, you become part of the family and walk alongside you. We'll build a plan for you, but it's not a one and done thing, right? Life's going to happen. Markets are going to happen. Your life's going to happen. And we walk alongside people and make sure that we're making those adjustments. And the best thing I can say is I had someone we work with, obviously, with some friends and family and whatnot as well. They said, well, wasn't it going to be weird if we're family or friends and we're working with you? I said, not at all, because if you come in and you were not my friend before you became a client, you're going to be a friend afterwards, because that's just the level of, how you get to know people to be able to serve them the right way. So it's that service attitude, right?
That makes sense. Yeah, I think, a lot of times, to your point, there are, and not to disparage any, part of the industry, there are people that just do the transactional thing. And if that's what you need or at the time of life you're in or what you're looking for, nothing wrong with that, right? So I think a lot of times when you guys are in this industry, when you're looking to find clients, it's not just like this podcast is not going to be designed to turn every single person that listens to it or watches it into a client. It's designed to hopefully provide some information, get you thinking about things that you need to think about, but it's got to work both ways, right, Shawn? It's got to work well for the client and for you.
Oh, 100%. It has to be a good fit. It has to feel good for everybody. Our passion is just let's just get people educated. We talked about educating people. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Let's get people educated on the right way to do things, because there is a bunch of, like you said, that transactional kind of stuff out there. And in our industry, there's a lot of that for people that are in the accumulation mode. But then they get dumped off and you're like, okay, I'm close to retirement. I'm at retirement. Now what?
Right. Well, I'm sure we'll do a deeper dive into the actual planning process. So we'll do another episode just kind of more about what you guys do and walking people through that, just because there's a lot of misconception, I think. To our point earlier, everybody can call themselves a financial professional now, it seems like. And so kind of we'll break down maybe some more of the distinctions as we move through things. But if somebody's checking this out for the first time, or they find, they've maybe watched some later episodes as we put out more content and they go back or whatever the case is, and they're hesitant, or they think, I need to talk with a financial pro, but I don't know. I don't know what I want to say, or what do I say, or how do I get started?
Right.
Kind of any advice you've seen through the years of how to do things, or just to kind of break the ice?
Yeah, it's taking that first step. It's not a nervous thing. And guess what? We try to take the onus away from you, right? Okay. And just, let's make it easy. We're just going to have a conversation, right? Me and you are sitting here talking, having a conversation. That's exactly what we're going to do, right? We do these free consultations. People come in. We're just going to sit and talk. We know you don't have to know what to ask. We know what questions to ask you, and you'll get comfortable. And then later on, that's going to probably trigger and open your mind up a little bit to ask the questions that were buried in there somewhere that you didn't know how to ask, right?
Yeah,
we'll draw it out.
Well, at the time we're taping this, Shawn, and getting ready to launch it, we're early June here, right? So we just passed Memorial Day not too long ago, and I like to say, and I've been saying this for a while, I think it's a really good way of thinking about it. Memorial Day is not officially summer, right?
Right.
But we all treat it like the kickoff to summer, right?
Yeah.
Memorial Day is here, time to get the pool open, all that stuff.
Yeah.
50 is not retirement, but it is kind of the unofficial kickoff to, I need to get my stuff in a group.
Yeah.
I need to figure some of this out, right? So I think once we turn 50, we start thinking, oh, maybe I need to go ahead and get some ducks in a row, right? So to your point, if you've got questions, you need some help, they offer that consultation. Links will be in the description. You can have that 1 hour free planning consultation and chat with Shawn and the team. So just reach out to them and get started today at retirewisepro.com. Click on the link and go from there. But that's going to do it for this inaugural kickoff. Anything else that you'd like to add before we wrap it up?
No, man, I'm just excited about being able to share this and share our story and our journey, and have you here as a host with us, and just kind of spread the information out and get people properly informed.
And looking forward to it as well. And so a great way to kick things off here on Retire Wise. Again, if you got questions, need some help, make sure you always check with a qualified pro before you take any actions. We'll always have links in the show descriptions to get you some time onto the calendar with Shawn and the team. You can also click that subscribe button on Apple or Spotify, and again right here on YouTube. And with that, we'll see you next time here on the podcast. This is Retire Wise with Shawn Maloney.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business RetireWise LLC. RetireWise LLC is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through AE Wealth Management LLC, AEWM, a registered investment advisor. AEWM does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by RetireWise LLC are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. RetireWise LLC is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein, provided by third parties, have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by RetireWise LLC.